are at BlizzCon. We are sadly without our compatriot Alex, who is in London right now, shooting a live dignation. We had to shoot the rest of the episode that you've seen a little early because Alex had to go to London, which is why you're not hearing any Tokyo Game Show news from us. But we do have BlizzCon news.
Half video game people are in Tokyo, and the other half, they're here at BlizzCon.
That's right. Because there's some big news. First of all, Dan, you're not a Starcraft player.
I'm outside of all of this.
You never played Diablo 2?
Never played any of the Diablo games.
Right.
I never played any Starcraft
games. So you had your first hands-on with Diablo and with Starcraft 2.
Yes.
Diablo 3, Starcraft 2.
Yes. Okay. Starcraft 2, love. Yeah. I really want to go play the first one.
Yes. We're going home immediately, and I'm letting him borrow my copy of Starcraft and Brood War, and you're checking it out.
I think there's something about my age that I'm excited to play a different kind of game. And while I could have been playing that kind of game this whole time, it's not like it's a new game, but I was never into that kind of game growing up. But now I'm so much more interested in different kinds of game experiences. I don't get the thrill from first-person shooters as much. I don't get the thrill. Even the adventure games, well, I love them, but I'm in for a more varied experience. And playing that top-down, strategy-based, more thinking game, I'm loving that.
And you're lucky because it's going to be all new for you.
Yeah.
Now, I got my hands on StarCraft 2, and StarCraft owned my life for a good 2 or 3 years.
It's your Desert Island game.
It is one of my Desert Island games, indeed. Playing StarCraft 2, feels very, very similar to StarCraft. And I think it's going to be in all those little minute details that I'm really going to find where it is different. But there's not this thirst to play it because I'm not seeing anything new different. Now, the news coming out of this conference is what makes me really crazy excited because the StarCraft and Brood War campaigns were so long and interesting and well written and had great cutscenes. And now we're hearing there's going to be 3 StarCraft 2 games, a trilogy of story-based, full-length, huge. In StarCraft 1 and in Brood War, you would have one campaign in the game that switched between the 3 races. But now we're going to have entire games of the same length of content you would find in the first StarCraft for each race.
And that's cool because I never processed these arts. The only RTS I played was Warcraft 3, and that, the way I remember it, was just play against someone in a setting. I don't remember there being a story that I was following.
There was in Warcraft 3.
Okay, I was just too young to comprehend.
Yeah, there's a lot of these main hero characters, and you find out how the war is going, and there's like intrigue and people teaming up and stuff happening,
So, but let me ask you though, if StarCraft is your Desert Island, if StarCraft is this amazing game for you.
It is. I think it is a perfectly designed game.
And there are other RTSs that have come out since then, but you don't play those games.
Not really.
Why?
I never got into Command and Conquer.
Why is that?
I think StarCraft, the milieu for me, is right at my. I love it.
Yeah.
It's perfectly balanced. Everything's intuitive. The classes are very different from each other, and not just in a technology way, but in a fundamental gameplay way.
And is that all there in StarCraft 2?
I can't imagine it not being. I mean, it's the same game tweaked. Okay. New graphics, tweaks.
None of those tweaks that you experience today, you can't really take away any big difference?
Not yet. I think it's going to take really getting into the nitty-gritty of the game and figuring it all out.
Okay. But, Diablo 3.
Yes.
Also, I was very skeptical in the presentation. I was turning to you and saying, it doesn't seem like there's any challenge. It just looks like you just hit buttons and things happen.
And then we got hands-on.
Yeah, and the second it started, first of all, the artwork in the game, guys, is like similar to the new Prince of Persia. It's very storybook. Just the atmosphere is just.
That shit got a lot of criticism because of the storybookiness. It's not so gritty and grounded, but I love it.
Compared to what?
Just, I don't know, compared to.
It's more gritty and grounded than World of Warcraft.
That's for sure. But everything is more gritty and grounded than World of Warcraft.
Sure. But it is, the atmosphere is great, the music, the voice acting.
Animation.
Yeah, the animations, that's all great. That's all that's been presented to us, but hands-on, that's all great. But I think what I clued into me was in every presentation video, they just show them doing the badass weapons and killing everything. But you don't start off that way. And there is difficulty in deciding how you want to kill something and navigating. And the first thing you do is to like find something and bring it to, you know, there's questing involved, there's challenge involved. It was a lot of fun. It really was a lot of fun.
Now, this is the first time you've ever played a Diablo game, right?
Yeah.
So the
Top
clicking.
Yeah, it's
weird.
very
simple. It's very
weird,
streamlined.
Right.
So is that something that is it a positive or a negative for you?
I think it's a positive. I think it's positive in the same way that I said Starcraft. I'm like Starcraft is a different kind of way to play a game.
Yeah.
And in my older age for gaming, like it's cool to play a game in a different way. It was weird not using my keyboard hand at all.
But WASD type.
Yeah. But
I think as you play that game more, you'll use more of the hotkey and stuff. But I'm going to say right now, Diablo 3 is my most anticipated game, bar none. I love Fallout 3. It looks great. I have a lot of games that I think are going to be great experiences. There is no game I would prefer having right now to play right now and totally throw myself into than Diablo 3. And you know what's interesting? One of the things about being at BlizzCon is you really see what's special about this company. You know, here's a whole convention based around one company and basically just 3 franchises. And we sat in on some of the interesting panels that they were doing. And one of the things that I took away from that, and it bears repeating over and over, is it seems like the best companies, the best video games come from iterating. And one of the interesting things that they said in all the panels is that they'll throw these mechanics in the game and they'll play them and they'll realize, you know, it was a great idea, but it's not fun. And they take it out. They mentioned the barbarian class having a charged strike. That most companies, when they put that in a game, they put that in a game and it stays there, and that's the idea that they had to put it in, and that's it. Yeah. These guys put that in, and they said it was really cool looking, but ultimately it wasn't fun because the way Diablo works is that you don't, you know, it's hard to charge and wait for stuff. Because your multiplayer, people are running out and attacking things. So it wasn't fun. So they took it out, and I think that's what the best games. The best games, they play them and iterate, and that's where greatness is made. Is that the game we played looked done, and these guys say no. We're gonna continue to iterate, and we're gonna make this better until it's perfect. And I think that's what's so special about Blizzard.
Yeah. Cool.
All right. I have rambled there a lot.
No, that's great.
We're talking about 2 games this week, the first of which is Fracture from LucasArts. It is a game we talked about and then made you famous.
And is infamous for talking about it.
If you're familiar with the history of the show,
then you remember us discussing when it was announced. The big deal about Fracture is this deformation of terrain technology that they came up with for it. So basically, it's the future. The global warming. Well, I was trying to come up with a different word. But basically, the planet has gone to hell in a handbasket, and the continent of North America has split in half. So you have 2 rival factions where the United States used to be, and they're at war. And we have all kinds of future tech. One of the future technologies that is at play is this ability to actually change the ground. So you can create hills, you can create valleys, you can have a giant spike come out of the ground, all by either shooting weapons using your this other weapon that's always